going to go and train. So it's early, so we're going to have this, make sure everything's super hydrated. Now, what I have done is I've actually already had one sachet and half a litre of water. Put another sachet in my shaker. I'll try and drink about half of this on the way to the gym. That'll be 1.5 litres, so that I am hydrated, ready for the session. So don't want that to be a reason for anything to go wrong. And it's super icy outside and super cold. So I'm going to go defrost the car, but you'll see where my, whatever you would call it, has paid off. Planning, preparation, because look at this outside. That was me slipping on the doorstep. Look at all of this outside. But the car screen will be nice and clear, despite everyone else's being frozen. So I feel fairly smug about that. Right, I'll see you at the gym soon. I need to get dressed. It's not warm enough. Well, that was a fun little intermission, let's just say. So I got here and the locks were obviously frozen, the padlocks to get in. On a weekend, anytime you come in early, it's like, are the locks going to be frozen? Is someone here? So am I going to need to unlock the gates? And as it turned out, gates were locked. Riveting story, I know. But with it being frozen, so the car said it was -7. It probably wasn't -7, but it was fairly chilly. The first gate, the lock, I tried turning it, didn't work. Just needs a bit more force. So I put a bit more force in, and I guess my training has paid off because I completely bent the key. So now my key is warped, but in the process of that, it did unlock it. So at least the door got the big gate got unlocked. And then we've got a second gate, like a little barrier gate. So we're into the first one, and that's fine. And then going into the second barrier gate. With that one, why is this not working? Sorry, I realise you don't know what I'm talking about. So into the second barrier gate, and it just wouldn't unfreeze. So I was like, right, well, I'll use some de-icer or some WD-40 or something to try and unfreeze it. But I didn't have any in the car. So I had to climb over that to come get into the gym, get some WD-40, go back out, defrost that, and then I've actually still left my car outside the yard because although I was well prepared, I knew that I'd have time. I don't know what's going on with the music. I knew that I'd have time to train and get back and do everything I need to, but I gave myself more time so that if something like this happened, I would have a bit of leeway. However, on top of this morning, the car decided it didn't want to start. So that is an extra thing as well. Now the plan for today, simple. Bench, bench, and bench. So that's good at least. Now, it's not that early. It's about 7:30. So I've been up about an hour or so, I've had a litre now of Dioralyte. I don't know if I'll have included the clip or not, because I was having to like whisper, so I don't know if it'll pick up the audio. But in that, I went through that, like, basically, first thing I did when I got up, 1 sachet of Dioralyte, 500 mils of water, downed it straight away. And then the second one, I had that on the drive into the gym, which is, it's like 10 minutes when it's icy like this. Just because the road, because we live like off a little farm, because we live off a little farm, the roads don't get gritted and don't have much traffic normally, so it's super icy. Anyway, so I got here. Touch and go today. So I got here, doing a bit of warming up. I did a bit of skiing actually, and despite that, I'm still not super warm. I did my normal curls and flies, nothing too crazy. The plan is, it says it's 2 sets of 1 at 140, but based on my pec and what I've been doing the last few days, and this week in general, and the fact it's cold, and the fact I know that I'm rushing a little bit, I'm gonna go much slower jumps. Again, take my time, work my way up, only put in like as much power as I need as I go through the sets. So this morning as well, big drop in weight. So the peak, the absolute peak heaviest I got this like whole training block and whatnot was 96.7 kilos. And then I got ill. This morning I was 93 bang on, which is pretty cool. Right. So that still feels fine. The plan is 140, like I say, but I think I'll still make small jumps. Anyway, so beginning of this week, it was last Sunday when I was like starting, if you like. So the beginning of this week, I weighed 95 point something. So now I'm 93, so 2 kilos down this week, without too much effort really, from a nutritional perspective. Like Monday and Friday had about 2,000 to 2,500 calories. I give the range because I track stuff, but I didn't track it with super accuracy. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I had between 3,000 and 4,000 calories, so I call it 3,500 on those days, and they were fine. And I'm still like looking at this as the recovery. Right, 90. Cool, still feels fine. So although I'm taking small jumps, they're a little bit bigger than they were the other day. The plan is only 2x1 at 140, but if we look at the sessions leading up to this, they haven't really justified me going this heavy this yet. So I'm going to take my time. And the good thing about rushing is I'm staying warm because it is freezing. I need to go buy some gloves. Does anyone else have it where you've got pairs of gloves and they just disappear every year? I don't know where they are, but I'm going to need that. And then for the rest of the day, so today shall be a good day. It was Rachel's birthday on Thursday, and it is Rachel's sister's birthday very shortly. So today I'm meeting their family for the day, but it also coincides with some other stuff and things, because you know, stuff and things always need to happen. So it means I need to get training done before we have clients in the gym, before we have people coming to train. And then I'm going to see if I can try and get my cardio done at home before we have to leave. But it's going to be fairly tight to get it done. So we'll see. Food-wise, those guys were talking about getting Domino's, but to be honest, I could fit the calories. The calories are not a problem, but it's the lactose. I don't really fancy having an upset stomach after like the last couple of weeks. It's taken time to get back to feeling like human again. So I'm probably not going to bother having that. And I'm going to be, although saying that, they do chicken, don't they? So I could maybe get something with chicken in it. I'm just going to have a look at, yeah, that's fine. I was just checking this was actually filming, because if it wasn't, then I could have just abandoned it and been like, right, today I trained, goodbye. Anyway. 0.48, that's not too bad. Still not putting in maximum power, but that's enough for me to go up in weight. So I'll take that. I might get like a jump scare when Liv gets here, because she's coaching this morning sessions. So I'll go 110 next. It's mad really to think this is a weight I would normally just jump past, but when I restarted powerlifting a couple of years ago, my max was like 107, so that's cool. 110. So anyway, that's the plan for today. I had a bunch of questions on Instagram to answer. I will answer them. Yeah. I already answered a bunch last night, but I answered them in the Instagram stories, so they're not super long. So I'll use them on Monday, when it's my next day off. I can go through them in detail, and then I'll give the short answers as well. Right, 110. Still feels fine. That was 0.4, so not super fast, but not super slow either. Remember what I went up to the other day? I think was it 105. I've got it in my head now. I'm going to go a little bit lighter for the next jump. and go 115 instead. I'm basically gonna work up to 2 singles, about an RP. So the plan would be singles at like an RP 6-ish, which is what 140 would be. But I'm still protecting my pec, because like I said before, there's no point in ending up with something that puts me out for weeks and weeks and weeks, or months and months and months. Yeah. So 115. Good thing about it being cold is you don't need chalk anymore. Hands don't get sweaty. I think that's it. I think that's the weight. I live. You alright? Yeah. It just felt like ever so slightly, but nothing crazy. So I'll do that again for another set. Oh. And that might be the top weight for the day. Well, I've got to ignore the velocity on this and just go based on how the pec was instead. So if we call that the working weight, do you think that was a working weight? I think I might just be imagining it. Yeah, I'll just a tiny little bit more. Just go 120, see how that is. This should still be okay, because it's still not a weight that's heavy enough to be like a real work set. As you can see, I'm doing it touch and go. So for this training block, my main bench movement is touch and go, because that's still weaker for me. My main squat movement is squat, my main deadlift movement is deadlift. So after this, there's close grip bench, which is more like hypertrophy type stuff. So 120 sets 1. If this is that was faster than the last couple of reps have been, so that's always a good thing. I guess I might be able to keep going up today. And then the good thing is, after today, there will be, tomorrow is squats and probably hamstring accessories. Monday's off, Tuesday is bench again. I'm not insane, I'm talking to the camera. If you want to come and talk to the camera, you can. No, fair enough. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm all right. Did you get my message about the W? Yeah. I'll go to Juicens and see if they've got some that I can buy. So I'll just give you both a can of it, so you can. It's just because otherwise, when Jack gets here at 5:45, he'll just end up just stood. And like I was like 90% sure I was getting frostbite in my fingers trying to do the mechanism, and I bent my key. Yeah. So don't really want that when we've got people that have got up early to come and train. Yeah. Yeah. I put the yesterday. I remembered we had a car screen cover, I was so smug this morning. I got up to get into the car, looked over in the neighbour de-icing his car. I didn't say anything. You don't want to be mean, but I was like, yeah, 125. Let me know if you need me to move or anything. I should be done well in time for people coming. So that's the one. That'll do as the top single. So instead of doing 2 sets of 1 at 140, I did about 47 sets of 1 at lighter weights instead, to make sure the pec is fine. And then next is close grip, but it's close grip sets of 8 to 15, RP 7 to 8. So it's close grip more from a hypertrophy type perspective. So a bit more slow, a bit more controlled. Literally just set up the camera like that, microphone, just talk, yeah. It probably helps if you have something to say. I mean, but to be fair, you know what I'm like, I'll just keep talking constantly. So the only difference is that instead of, I mean, to be fair, whilst you're here, I'm just talking to you, except it's going to there. And then normally it's just my stream of consciousness instead. I think it's mainly helpful because it means that I can keep my mum updated on how I'm doing, you know? And send this to my grandma. She's like, how is everything going, Adam? Like, yeah, subscribe to my YouTube, just watch it. So, now I'm gonna do close grip, but again, because I'm being sensible with my pec, I'm going back down in weight to see how this feels. And I'm gonna go with less of an arch and less of a foot position. Feels about right for about an RP 7-ish, even though it's only 80, but I can just feel my pec as I get towards the bottom. It's not painful, I can feel it, but I can feel my triceps, which is the whole point. So I'm just going to stick with this for 2 more sets, and then front raises. Can you hear that ringing sound? It must be next door. Yeah, I'm not completely mad. It was going off the other day, and we were like, have we got a phone? That we didn't realise, because you know we've got them. They haven't been plugged in since we got them, but we just had to get the phone line so we could get the internet installed. Yeah. So for these, like I said, although my feet are flat, I'm not trying to get in a specific arch type position. I'm trying to make sure when I do them, I can actually feel my triceps as opposed to normally. Normally, it's just about moving the weight from A to B, but this is a specific accessory in this specific part of the training block. Oh, surprised how effective that feels. But like I say, it's not a bad thing. It means if you can use less weight on your accessories, that's probably a good thing, because the main lifts are going to have to be heavy. So take that as like a win rather than a negative. Like if you watch the videos leading up to the competition, I think the heaviest close grip set I did was maybe 127 or 125. So like it's not strength, it's about knowing what the intention is behind the movement and doing it in line with that. One more of these and then I don't know what to drink. This is just cardio and this is fast juice. So the questions from yesterday, I already answered a handful of them on Instagram, which I'll answer on Monday on this video. So there was, I can feel the caffeine in the Monster, and since having the flu, it's still like getting out of breath real easy, even though cardio wise fitness is getting better. So tips for low bar squat position in terms of shoulders, hand placement, etc. I'll probably do that tomorrow when I squat. How often do you incorporate cardio into your program? Every day at the minute. When you're going to unleash Nathan onto a new deadlift PB? Answered that one. How do I get a beard like you? 200 kilo bench, 20 kilos of progress. That one, you paid attention when I said, how do I get a beard? I'm really sorry, I don't think you can grow a beard. You might have to get some vitamin T and change your name. Lots of questions about the bench, how to get to certain bench numbers, different weaknesses, accessories. A few of my athletes asking, when will I hit X PB, Y PB when you stick to the program? What I want a 700 kilo total, what would the doctor recommend to do? Copy literally everything that I'm doing, word for word, every sentence, do it exactly the same. Liv, I've just got one more set of this and then I'm doing just dumbbell stuff so I can move wherever you need me to. But like I say, I'm fully intending on being done before people. And then I've got 3 more which I've not answered on Instagram, which I'll answer on. My triceps feel recovered. I'll do this set, then I'll answer these on Instagram now, short answer, and then I'll answer them properly and long answer on Monday. If that makes any kind of sense. It makes sense in my head. Right, last one. That was good. Felt about happy 8-ish, maybe even 9 to keep it with that same technique. And I could feel my pec more than I could on the actual bench. Because like I said before, when you do a close grip, your pecs actually move further, even though there's less peak tension. So there's more of a gliding action as you do it. So it's that extreme end of the range where it starts to feel uncomfortable. Right, I'll answer this now and then go from there. So for this one, When will I get to 100 bench? Most I've ever done was 82.5. Because we're working together, I don't think it will take too long, but bear in mind, you're recovering from the rotator cuff surgery, but I think that's kind of behind you now, because obviously that's why we then started. Realistically, I would say when you're done with the fat loss, and then we can push just strength as much as possible. So maybe 4 months, 3 months, it depends on how lean you actually want to get. So that's the first one, and then I'm going to message who this was and make sure that he's still aligned with his goals. His current goal was to rehab his shoulder and to get lean. So we've done the rehab, now he's getting lean. Obviously strength keeps going up, but there's a certain point of getting lean where you're definitely not going to make rapid progress. What to do when insufficient sleep is unavoidable, inescapable noise, and sometimes also insomnia. Thanks. So, for this, first with sleep, I would look at duration, and I would look at its total duration over the course of the week. So catch up on other days if you can, and then look at each day. So the first thing with sleep is make sure you're actually in bed for the duration of sleep that you need. Next thing is, so you asked about noise, earplugs, white noise machine, something like that. In terms of insomnia, there's lots and lots of different causes. Without going into more personal details, I can't give you a specific answer in this like 30-second Instagram clip, but I am going to film a longer YouTube video where I will go into more detail on this, but that will be in like 2 days time. That's the next one done. This is like, Yusuf, if you're watching this, you'll probably be like super borderline turned on at the efficiency of making this and this and this for this at the same time and whilst training. With that said, I need to do a set of front raises. Again, it's the 3 sets of 8 to 15. So I'm gonna go a bit lighter on this. Go with 7s. So again, because it's different now because I'm doing it like hypertrophy-esque. I'm gonna go from here and then controls. That was all right. I was thinking about doing these on an incline, but I think that might irritate my pec. And also, I don't want to have to reset everything up now, because as I said about time, it's ticking and ticking. Is that clock right? Actually, it's not as bad for time, but I've started doing them now, so I don't want to change them. Tomorrow, I'm going to train at Ben's gym. So I've not, apart from the competition, and it didn't really work because of the noise there, I've not done this in someone else's gym. I don't know if I will. I'm sure Ben won't mind, I'll send him a text and ask. So it'll be a change of scenery, which is always nice. Now, what was the next one? So, this one says, I mean how insufficient sleep usually and always in the question mark has a very bad influence on strength, gym time, etc. So, I did actually talk about this in one of the other videos, but I'll do a more specific one. But now I'll do the answer for this as well. So, acute sleep deprivation doesn't seem to affect 1 rep max strength, but it does affect strength endurance. So if you Psychologically, if you tell yourself it's going to make you weaker, it's going to make you weaker. Chronically, it is going to have an impact, and you're not going to be recovering as much as you could, and you're not going to make as much progress as you could. So I would make an effort to make sure you are getting enough sleep. Now, the other thing as well is you have to bear in mind the context of everything for your goals, like how high a priority are the different things you're doing. So for example, say you was getting up an hour early to go and do some cardio, but your goal is max strength. You're probably better off sleeping that extra hour. However, if the only time you have to do any training is early, then you might want to get up. So you need to look at your priorities and go from there. And then I will do a longer video on this again for YouTube. Right, so that's the last of the current ones answered. So I've got 2 more sets of them done. I was struggling to hold up my phone then. I'm not joking, I was struggling to hold up my phone because of doing the sets between. Do you ever have it of like, after you've trained, so before wireless headphones were a thing, holding my hand up after I trained on the phone, I'm like, I can't hold it, and then it would dodgy. Yeah. Am I in your way? You sure? So, 2 more sets. Right. Next one. I think the last one was about 10 or 11 reps, maybe 12. I'm doing these back to this so I don't swing and cheat and make it too easy. Oh, have you got many people in now? 3 and 3. Oh, that's nice. It means it'll pass quickly, and it's a good environment, isn't it? When there's yeah. So with the gym, we do sessions, or we have up to. To be fair, it depends on how many coaches are in and who's doing it. So like if I was doing sessions, I might have up to 4 or 5 people in. But so like Liv this morning, are you allowed people knowing your name? Yeah, Liv. And it'll tell your full name, date of birth, everything. Your address, yeah. So Liv's doing sessions with up to 3 people, but everything is personalised, so everyone has their own program. So all the sessions need to be pre-planned to make sure things coordinate. Because although we've got a decent amount of kit, we don't have infinite amounts. So like for example, we've got 1 treadmill. I mean, to be fair, I think we've got like, of about 60 members, we have like 2 people who actually run. Because no one actually wants to run in their program and they don't need to. So, but it's coordinating it so everybody's got space to do what they need to do. And I think Liv probably wants these boxes that I've got all my stuff on. Oh, okay. So that's why I keep asking if she needs me to move. Because as much as I don't want to admit it, our members' training is more important than my training. So, last one. That was good. That was a good set. And that's it. For me, I will probably, to be honest, I'll probably stretch at home, because as soon as you stop training in here, you'll cool down real fast right now. I did see some heaters actually. This is useful. You'll like this as well actually. So the competition the other week, the gym, it was a gym called Northeast Strength Culture. It was probably about 4-5 times the size of this. Very open plan and everything. It was all like super high spec powerlifting kit. But they had these 4 heaters. They were wall mounted. They were maybe as wide as like this platform is. And so with the 4 of them in that massive unit, I think he said he can keep it at like 18 to 20 degrees, which isn't tropical, but like it'd take the chill off. And he had a thing as well covering the shutter doors, which actually I'm going to send him a text and ask him where it was from. But it was basically like a big insulated thing. So to stop, because even when the shutter doors close, there's sometimes a little draft, isn't there? So I've been looking for ages to try and find a good solution, but they've actually got one. And more importantly, I think it's not super expensive to run. He was saying it costs them about 50p a day, and for the size of their gym, so like for hours, it shouldn't cost much more. It's just the installation of them and the cost of them. I'd imagine they're probably in the thousands of pounds, not the hundreds. Because like if it was $1,000, I'd be like, fine, we'll just buy it. But if it's $5,000, like, have to think about it. And to be fair, if global warming happens and it gets warmer anyway, it'll be fine. I said that once to a member who's no longer a member. To be fair, she was lovely, but she moved away from here, not because of what I said. But I made a joke about, oh, it'll be great when global warming happens, because then it'll be warm all the time. And she lost her mind. She was, Adam, you can't say that. That it won't be a good thing. Things will float. And started going off, and I was like, Liv, I'm just kidding. It's just a joke. I'm not saying anything more than like it would be nice if it's a bit warm. That's it. I did ask one of my one-to-ones, the tallest of my one-to-ones, with a similar hair to me, used to work at a massive geological company. Like she started at a lower level. She was a scientist and then went up and up and up. And I asked her to explain global warming to me. I was like, explain it as if I'm 5. And she explained it. I was like, that's interesting. And I was like, right, what are the actual consequences? And she reckons either we will end up just basically more tropical, so a bit warmer, but also lots more storms and rainier and that sort of thing. And the problem for us for that is because we're such a small island and we don't have the infrastructure for it. So the other problem we might have is essentially, the Gulf Stream, like the heat we get from kind of like Mexico-y area that comes up. She said effectively one theory is that will kind of just turn off. So then all of the temperature here will just drop significantly. And so we'll become like some of Canada where it's just cold all year and then you'll have like a couple of warm days. I was like, I don't want that one. No, I don't want that. But I might be butchering her explanation. And she was like, this is just like what I think. But she's obviously, she knows the subject. I mean, I don't know anything about anything that's not the human body. Like if it's not, to be fair, or about fitness businesses. Like, I know a fair bit about fitness businesses and the human body, nothing else. Right, there has been one more question on this, so I will just answer this. Forgot to press start. So the question is how to get bigger biceps. This is a stupid question. What you do is any exercise where your arm goes like that, then you do lots of it, and you keep eating lots. Or you hire a coach, or you just do any kind of training program for any period of time that includes curls, and you get bigger biceps. Or if you're asking me how I get bigger biceps, I don't, that's why they're small. So that was a helpful piece of advice for someone else as well. And that's it for me. So I'll see you tomorrow. I'll probably say bye to you when I actually leave. It'd be pretty weird if I say bye to you now and then hang around whilst I'm tidying up. Take care.